Welcome back, everyone. In the last video, we talked about triggers and why avoiding triggers alone usually isn't enough to stop a lichen flare long term. But today, I want to dive deeper. I want to talk to you about root causes, the underlying factors that keep these mast cells overreactive and the immune system stuck in a reactive state in lichen planus, or lichen planus, and lichen sclerosus. Because when you understand root causes, the overall pattern starts to make sense. So if you're newer to this series and haven't watched parts 1 through 3 yet, I recommend going back and starting there because each step builds on the last and it'll make more sense in today's video. So mast cells don't become overreactive for no reason. They respond to stress signals inside the body. And if those signals stay present, mast cells stay reactive. One of the most common root drivers is gut dysfunction. The gut and immune system are closely connected. In fact, 80% of your immune system is located inside the gut. So if there's gut inflammation, microbial imbalance, increased intestinal permeability, chronic irritation, the immune system stays activated. And when that happens, mast cells receive ongoing danger signals, and tolerance to those triggers begin to drop. Another common root cause is chronic infection. This can include viral, bacterial, or tick-borne infections. And when the immune system is continually trying to control this infection, the immune signaling stays elevated, and mast cells often remain on high alert. Another root cause is nervous system dysregulation. Many people with lichen conditions have lived under long periods of physical, mental, or emotional stress. And when the nervous system is stuck in a chronic stress response, it directly increases mast cell activation and histamine release. And that's why stress so often triggers flares. It's not emotional, it's biological. Hormone imbalance is another thing to consider. Hormones influence immune behavior and mast cell stability. Changes in estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol can all affect how reactive mast cells become. And that's why many people notice symptom shifts around menstrual cycles, menopause, and prolonged periods of stress. Another contributing factor is toxic burden. This can include mold exposure, environmental chemicals, heavy metals, and other toxins. When your detox pathways are overwhelmed with these toxins and they're not functioning well, inflammatory signaling increases and mast cells become easier to trigger. Nutrient deficiencies can also play a role. Mast cells rely on specific nutrients to regulate and stabilize properly. And when those nutrients are missing, regulation becomes more difficult and reactivity increases. Here's an important point. Root causes are not always visible on routine lab testing, and they're often not evaluated in a symptom management model. And that's why people are told that their condition is autoimmune or idiopathic, meaning no clear cause is identified. But no clear cause identified does not mean that there's no cause that exists. It often means that it hasn't been fully investigated yet. A root cause approach asks different questions. Instead of only asking, how do I suppress or manage my symptoms? We ask, what is stressing the immune system? What is lowering tolerance? What is keeping mast cells in a reactive state? And when those drivers are addressed, mast cell behavior often becomes more stable and symptoms can calm down more sustainably. That doesn't mean that healing is instant, and it doesn't mean that every case has the same root cause because we're all bio-individual. But it does mean that there's a structured path for investigation and support, not just symptom management and control. In the next video, we're going to talk about how the conventional treatment and functional treatment differ and how to think about working with a functional health practitioner as part of your healing process and healing journey. If this series has been helpful so far, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next part, and I will see you on the next video.